Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there is an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online.
Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Hartum. The theme for this week will be winter. Right, before we get into our lesson for today, we have to sanitize. Now remember everybody, we have to stay clean and healthy, and we have to take care of ourselves. And it is winter time now, so we have to be even more careful. We have to make sure we dress up, we have to make sure we clean up. For today's lesson, we are going to do vocabulary, sight words, reading, and multiplications. Our first lesson for today you will find on page 17. Caring for friends. Today's lesson will be about sight words. On the page you see the following sight words: please, well, went, yes, and they. These are sight words. When you read a story or when you read a little passage, you should be able to know these words as soon as you see them. On the next part of the page, you will find your vocabulary. You should also be able to know the meaning of these words. The vocabulary words are friend, friendship, care, and love. On the next part of the work on page 17, you see they ask you to trace the words correctly on the lines. The words here came from your vocabulary. So these are the words that you have to trace. The first word is love, and then you have to trace the word love in the line. You start with L, O, V, E, and then you continue with care and friendship. In the next part of the page, we go back to the board. You will find a little crossword. And in this puzzle, there are words which you have to find. Right. All the words that you will see on top of page 17, you must find in your puzzle. On the board, I have taken a little piece out of the puzzle and put it on the board. You will see I'm going to show you how you are supposed to find these words in the puzzle. Right. On the board you see there are 3 words: taken from your sight words on top, and we have to search for these words in our puzzle. The first word we want to look for is the word went. Right, let's look at the puzzle. We find our first letter, which is a W. Okay, so let's see, where in this puzzle do we have a W? Over there, there's the W. Okay, now you look at the second letter. You see the second letter is an E. Then we go back to the puzzle we look at. Do I have an E next to it? No. Do I have an E below the W? Oh yes, there we have it. And now you can see the word went is formed in your puzzle. And as soon as you found your word, you can then go ahead and circle the word went in the puzzle. Okay, so now we find our first word in the puzzle. Now we go ahead and we look at the second example on the board. The second word is the word well. Let's look at the puzzle and let's see where can we find the word well in the puzzle. Let's look for another W. Do we find another W? Oh, yes. Over there, we have another W. And then we look at the second word. It's an E as well. And if you see, you have your E below, your L, and another L. So, good job, boys and girls. You have found the word well in the puzzle. Now, I am going to leave the third word and the rest of the other words on page 17 for you to find in the puzzle. So please go ahead and find the words in the puzzle that is still missing. After this, we continue to page 18. On the next page, we have a little story. Let's quickly read the little story on page 18. The heading of the story is Reading with Sam. I sit in the reading corner and read my book. Sam comes and sits next to me. Sam is also in my class. Sam asks me if he can read with me. I share the book with Sam. Together we read the book. We read the words and look at the pictures. We help each other to read the words. We enjoy the story in the book and have fun together. It is fun to read with someone. I made a new friend today. I made a friend because I shared my book and helped him to read. Right, so that is our little story about reading with Sam. Now we look at the questions below. Question number 1. What is the friend's name? Question number 2. What do they do together? Question number 3. Count how many times you read these words in the story. These words are the word the word read, and the word friend. Okay. Now I want us to go back and read the story one more time. We now already know what questions they asked, so maybe while we are reading, we will be able to find some of the answers already. So let's quickly read through the little story one more time. Reading with Sam. I sit in the reading corner and read my book. Sam comes and sits next to me. Sam is also in my class. Sam asks me if he can read with me. I share the book with Sam. Together we read the book. We read the words and look at the pictures. We help each other to read the words. We enjoy the story in the book and have fun together. It is fun to read with someone. I made a new friend today. I made a friend because I shared my book and helped him to read. Right. So now that we have read the story for a second time, we will be able to answer the questions below this passage. Right, friends? So now I want you to try and answer the following 3 questions. And if you're still not sure what the answer is, you can always go back and read the story again for the 3rd time.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
In the next part of our lesson, we continue on page 19 with multiplication. On page 19, you see there they talk about the 2 times tables. Right, so if we can quickly come back to the board, you see, if we look at the first part, they want us to count in 2s. I'm quickly going to show you how to do that on the board. Right, so here you see we have 1, 2 counters. Right, then we have 1, 2 more counters. If we count in 2s, then we are basically going to add these groups together. So we start with the first part, 2, 4, 6, 8. Right. So when we do the 2 times tables, we basically count in 2s. So here you see we count 1, 2. In the next part, we count 3, 4. Then we count 5, 6. Then we count 7, 8. Okay, so when we do the 2 times tables, we do it in 2s. Then it would look like this. We have 2, then we have 4, right? Then we have 6, and then we have 8. Okay, so I want you to continue the line with the rest of the numbers. Up next, when we go to the next part of our 2 times tables, I'm going to do the second example with you. Right, so the second example I copied on the board for you as well. So it says 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Okay, so how many times do we have to add 2 together? Let's count. We add 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 times together. Okay, so if we take 2 plus 2, we get, if you said 4, beautiful. Then we add another 2, which gives us 6. Then we add another 2, which gives us 8. That's right. So that means 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 gives us 8. Okay. Then we move on to the next example. So we said we added 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 times on top. So now we have another example with 1, 2, 3, 4 groups with 2 dots in each group. Okay, so then we say 4 times 2. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 circles, right? 4 circles, and in each circle we have 1, 2 dots. Right, so now we multiply the 2. So we say 4 times 1, 2, right, gives us, let's count all the dots together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. So that means 4 times 2 is equals to 8. There we go. Right, in the next one, this example, you find 1, 2, 3, the 4th example on page 19. Okay, then we look on the board. So here we see we have to add up to quite a few times. Right, now let's quickly count how many times we have to add up to. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Okay, so let's see. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus another 2 is 6, plus another 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10, plus 2 is equal to 12. Good job. So our answer here is 12. Right. Then we continue to the next example, just as we had in the one before. We look at how many circles we have. So let's count the circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 circles. And then we also have 2 dots in each circle. That means our sum will be 6 times 2. Right. Now let's quickly count how many dots we have all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right. So we take 6 circles, we multiply it with 2 dots in each circle, and the answer there is 12. Right. So in our previous sum we said 4 times 2 is 8, and in this example we have said that 6 times 2 is equal to 12. Good job, boys and girls. So now we want you to do the rest of the examples by yourself.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn, and more. We distribute countrywide in over 7 different languages.
So we have come to the end of our lesson, grade 2s. We hope that you have understood all the work that we have done. And remember, if you have any problems, you can always go back to the booklet and read up a little bit more until you understand. Or you can ask a grown-up for help. Now, before we go, let's not forget to sanitize. Now, remember, everybody, you have to rub your hands very carefully in between your fingers and outside as well. You also have to remember to stay safe. You have to remember to stay warm, and please take care. Okay, right, boys and girls, so we are done for today, and I am going to go on a picnic with Zoshi. So I'll just, oh, hi Zoshi, there he is. Wow, I was just about to go find him. So we are going to go on a nice picnic today. We will see you next time. Stay safe.
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF, My Zone Online School, Amos Meerkat Syllabus, and Capricorn Foundation.